Welcome everyone. Today's lesson is titled, German Tourist Detained in the US. Before reading the article, let's think about a key question. How do immigration systems balance safety and fairness? Today's story explores how a simple misunderstanding at the border can escalate into serious consequences. Let's start with a similar case. Many tourists in the US have been detained or deported due to overstaying their visas, even by a few days. While some intended no harm, immigration policies are enforced strictly. In Canada, a traveler was turned away for carrying tools used in his job, even though he claimed it was for personal use. Authorities suspected he might work illegally. A British student visiting the US was mistakenly placed in a detention facility for nearly a week after customs misread her documents. She was eventually released but traumatized. In Australia, a French tourist was arrested after being mistaken for a wanted criminal with a similar name. He was later freed but spent 3 days in jail. Should Jessica have been detained just for carrying tattoo equipment? Even if officials suspected she might work illegally, couldn't they have simply denied entry or asked her to leave? This case reflects the rising tension around immigration in many countries. Governments want to prevent abuse of visa-free programs, but that often affects innocent travelers. Jessica was a young European carrying tools related to her job. Did she fit a profile that triggered suspicion? This raises questions about how we judge intent based on appearance. Was there a misunderstanding due to language or cultural differences? Clearer communication might have helped resolve the situation without resorting to detention. Jessica claims she was placed in solitary confinement. Even if temporary, such treatment can have lasting emotional effects, especially when one feels misunderstood and powerless. This incident illustrates the delicate balance between law enforcement and compassion. Strict policy without room for discretion may lead to inhumane outcomes. We all want secure borders, but can we also ensure fairness and dignity for travelers? Jessica's case reminds us to evaluate each situation with both caution and compassion. Now let's move on to key expressions. Let's look at 2 key expressions. Number 1 is not a word. This phrase is used to stress complete silence or a total lack of response. It's often used when someone expected a reaction but didn't get any. Let's take a look at the examples. In the first example, this means the speaker couldn't understand anything Misha was saying because of his accent. In the second example, this shows everyone was so shocked that they stayed completely silent. Next is even so. This expression is used to introduce a surprising or contrasting idea that remains valid despite what was just mentioned. Let's take a look at the examples. In the first example, this means that although waiting was annoying, the overall experience was still enjoyable. In the second example, this shows that despite the difficulty, the speaker still finds Arabic fascinating. Great. Let's now learn some key vocabulary that will help you follow along more easily. I'll explain each word, tell you what it means, and then we'll look at an example sentence together to see it in action. The word occupation. This is often used in formal documents, forms, and interviews to ask about someone's line of work. In the example, this is commonly asked in immigration forms to understand your employment status. Shrug something off. This phrasal verb is used when someone chooses to ignore criticism, problems, or negative events without letting them affect their mood. In the example, this means he didn't let the criticism affect him or take it to heart. Detention. This is often used in legal or immigration contexts to describe someone being held by authorities, usually temporarily, for legal reasons. In the example, this refers to being officially held by authorities, often in a prison-like setting. Great work today. We've explored the story of Jessica, a traveler whose innocent visit turned into a legal nightmare. Remember to think critically about immigration policies and human rights. I'll see you in the review session.